Hello guys, so if you're a struggling trader, today I'll teach you a simple trading strategy that you can adapt to increase your win rates by far. So we are going to need two major things. So the first thing is your time frame. I need to change this color. Let's make it yellow. And yep, yellow is perfect. Alright, I said two, but we need three things actually. Your time frame, EMA, and then price action. Time frame, EMA, and price action. So pay attention to the rules, very important. So the time frame we are looking at is the weekly, the daily, and the 4-hour. The EMA we'll be using is the 50 exponential moving average, and we'll do price action. So price action, we'll be looking at things like break and retest, and trend lines, and supports and support and resistance. So right, so again, price action, we are looking at the trend lines, um, support and resistance, and then break and retest. Alright, so let's go to the charts. So here I have with me GBP AUD. So let's set our EMA. So you go to indicators and you look for EMA. Let's change the color to something bright. So you double click on it, or you go to the settings here and you can change the color. So here I'll change the color to white. Let's do white. Let me increase the thickness a little bit. Let's make it a little bit thicker, right? And the input here, I'll change it to 50. So it's a 50 exponential moving average, and then we set it to 50, right? So what are the rules? So first we start from the weekly time frame. We'll go to the daily and the H4. So what we are looking for is that all these three time frames should be in one direction. So what it means is if the weekly is pushing up, the daily should be pushing up, and the 4-hour should also be pushing up. So when we say pushing up, we are simply looking at where is the EMA. So currently this is something that is a little tricky because price on the weekly time frame was pushing to the upside and we just broke the EMA. So this is not something we are interested in. So we go to a pair like GBP NZD, which is also a little bit tricky, but no, let's look for something else. All right, so something like GBP CHF is a good one. So what we are simply looking for is we are looking for a price or an EMA on the weekly time frame where price is above the 50 exponential moving average, and then we go to the daily time frame. We want to see price above the 50 exponential moving average. So this is perfect, and then we go to the 4-hour time frame. We want to see the same thing. So here on the 4-hour time frame, this is where we are trading support and resistance. So here this price has already moved, but if we are here, what we are looking for is, for instance, you have a zone here, and you are looking for a break and retest, and you could take the buy here and take profit here. So the rules are very simple, right? So let's look for another pair. Back to the weekly time frame. Let's look for something like Euro GBP. So let me delete the markup here. So what we are looking for is we are looking for price below the moving average on the weekly time frame, which is perfect. We go to the daily time frame here. The daily time frame here on Euro GBP, we just broke the EMA, so we would take it like that. But if you have multiple pairs and you are comparing, you want the one that price is actually below the EMA, and then on the 4-hour time frame, price is below the EMA. So here what you are looking for is a break and retest. So currently price has broken out of this level here on Euro GBP. We just broke this level here below the EMA, and what we are looking for is a pullback to test this zone. You take a sell from here and you take your profit here. So this is something that you can actually monitor and see how you can potentially make money from this move here. So let's go to the so Euro USD, we go to the daily time frame. No, sorry, the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, we just broke above here. Right? So on the daily time frame, you want to see price above the level. Price is above the level. And on the 4-hour time frame, you look for price action. So all these moves has already happened. Hopefully in our examples, we see something that is yet to happen. So before we came here, last week, we could have gotten multiple trade opportunities here simply by looking at the break here. Okay, so if you're looking at this here, you have your control zone here. We have a break and a retest. That is your first trade. You can have a trend line here. Trend line here. No, it's supposed to be a trend line. Trend line here. So a break of the trend line. And you could simply also look out of a breakout of this level here. And your ultimate level or TP is the next high here. So these are very fine ways of finding very good entry, and you are restricting yourself to the 4-hour time frame to catch the bigger moves. So this kind of move, let's say you took a buy from here on Euro USD and you held the trade. So you're looking for the retest here or the breakout here. So let's say the breakout, that's 111 pips. If you got in here, that's 72 pips. So these are very decent setups. So let's go through like 5 more posts, and hopefully it makes a lot of sense. I'm trying to keep the video under 15 minutes. Euro AUD. So Euro AUD is decent, very decent. So prices was below the weekly, the EMA on the weekly. We want to see price below on the daily, and on the 4-hour time frame, we look at price action. So here on the 4-hour time frame, there are multiple things we can do here. First, one thing that we could have done here was take a trade on the retest here and take a sell here. Because price is currently testing a zone here, what we can do here for a potential trade would be to wait for price to break out of the current zone. So you to look at that and a retest, and you look to sell, and you are selling to the next low. So here, if you are selling, your TP or your first target would be this level here. So you only look to take another TP when price breaks that level. So this is actually going to be a very short trade. So why is this thing all over the place? So price retest here, what we are looking for is to take a short here. This is something that is not the TP is like 100 pips, but before, if we are taking an entry here, we'll be looking at something like 152 pips. So let's look at multiple examples. Euro NZD weekly time frame. Okay, so the weekly time frame, we are now testing this level here. So that is, if we are basing our trade strictly on what we are talking about, this is not something we'll consider because price is currently testing this level here. So at this point here, you are not sure if it's going to break to the downside or reject to the upside. So you then wait for the following week to find a trade. So you skip to the next one. So if you want to follow this, you have to follow it strictly, just like I've been describing it. So you want, this is a decent one, the weekly above the EMA, and you're looking for the daily above the EMA like this, and your 4-hour you look for price action to take your trade. Okay. So on the 4-hour, there are multiple levels to look for price action. So this will be one of them, where you wait for the break and retest, first trade, second trade, rejection, and you could have multiple trades here to take a trade here. And always you are targeting the next immediate high. So here, Euro card, based on what we just described, it has a potential to target the next high at this level here. So this is very good because you are trading with the long-term trend direction of the market. Right, let's look at multiple examples. So let's go to the weekly time frame on Euro JPY. So this is very clean. Prices clearly above the EMA on the weekly time frame. We go to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, prices above the EMA, and on the 4-hour, we look for price action. So one of the price action here, this is the trade I actually took. So here we had this level here, like so. Price broke the level, and that could be a buying opportunity. But price came back and rejected the EMA here. So at the close here, you can take your trade at the close of the bullish candle, and you still get something decent. This is Euro JPY, so that is a lot of profit here. That is 100 pips. That is 200 pips, right? So this is very decent. This gives you an opportunity to take the trade in the direction of the trend, right? So on the 4-hour, you take trades on the rate test of the EMA, but you don't take any trade on any other time frame. So you start from the weekly, right? So CHF JPY is above the EMA on the weekly, right? You go to the daily. The daily is also above the EMA. We go to the 4-hour time frame, and we're breaking the EMA to the downside. So this does not meet the criteria. I hope that makes sense. So we go to the next trade. We start from the weekly time frame on AUD CHF. Right? I'll finish the CHF first, and then we'll call it. So let me know in the comment section if you have any questions about this. Right? So here on next pair, AUD CHF. AUD CHF is clearly above the EMA. Right? Prices above the EMA. The daily time frame, prices above the EMA. And on the 4-hour time frame, we look for price action. So here, this move has already happened. But if you were here and you're looking for price action, one thing you could do is to draw a trend line from here and the retest here. That is your trade. Or you could just draw a resistance zone at a high, and you take your trade at a break and retest, and you take this push here. And this is a very decent push here. I hope this makes sense. Let me know in the comment section if you have any question about this. If you are struggling with your trades, just adapt simple things like this and you make money. There are some people that don't like EMAs for some reason. You just need to learn the right ways to look at it. Here, we are not taking our trade based on the EMA. We're just using it to filter our trades and know which one has the better trend, right? So here we have a retest here and a rejection of on the weekly time frame. On the daily, we have price came back to reject here. So on the 4-hour time frame, what we are looking for is a breakout or any form of price action here. So here at this point here, this would have been your entry here, and your TP is at a high here. I hope that makes sense. For the TP, there could be multiple strategies or multiple approaches to your TP. So NZD CHF. NZD CHF, same thing. We start from the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, we are waiting for price above the level on the weekly time frame. So here, price is clearly above the EMA, which is a fresh breakout. We go to the 4-hour time frame, sorry, the daily time frame. And on the daily time frame, we are looking for price action. So here, what kind of price action could we use to target a trade like this? We could simply look at a breakout here out of this level here, or you can target this level here, or even a trend line connecting this high. Okay, a trend line connecting this high to the high, and this will be your entry here, and you catch this move to the upside. So let's look at something like something random. Let's look at AUD NZD. So AUD NZD, let's look at a weekly time frame. So weekly time frame, price is clearly above the 50 EMA. We go to the daily time frame and price is testing the daily EMA. Yes, so we are still above. So on the 4-hour time frame, you're looking for, okay, so on the 4-hour time frame, you don't take this trade because price is below the EMA. I hope this is making sense. So this is out of the equation because you want the 4-hour, the daily, and the weekly all should be above the EMA. Or if it's a downtrend, the 4-hour, the daily, and the weekly all should be a downtrend before you look to sell, and here before you look to buy. I hope it makes sense. So here on AUD card, looking at the weekly time frame, you have price above here. So next week, go through the pairs you trade. If you find an opportunity like this, you can come and comment in the session and let us know if you find something the same. If you're on Twitter, you can tag me in your post and I'll have a look at it. So AUD card is a decent one. A break to the upside on the daily. We're above the 50 EMA in the 4-hour time frame. We look for price action. So this is something that's already happened, but something that you could look for at this point here would have been what? A break of the trend line here. Take your trade here, boom. Price came back for the retest at this level here, and that is your trade. So this is, I'm just giving multiple examples to help you understand the concept, but I try to keep the video under 15 minutes, but it looks like we are running a little bit above. So yep, let me know if you have any questions. Drop it in the comments, or tag me on IG at TraderBenDave or hashtag TBD or hashtag TraderBenDave, and I'll get back to you. So if you are new to the channel, like, share, and subscribe, and see you in the next video.